Coconut oil has this strange, split personality online. One video says it is basically over because of cholesterol, another calls it a brain and metabolism secret. If someone hears that it raises HDL, the so-called good cholesterol, is that actually a win?
It is only a partial win, and maybe not the part people think. An umbrella review found oils richer in mono and polyunsaturated fats, like canola and olive-type patterns, generally lower total and LDL cholesterol. Oils high in saturated fat, including coconut and palm, tend to raise total cholesterol and LDL, while also raising HDL. So the truthful sentence is, coconut oil may improve one looking number while worsening another number with stronger causal relevance to atherosclerosis. Think of lipoproteins as delivery trucks. After you eat fat, the intestine packages triglycerides into chylomicrons. The liver later repackages energy into VLDL, and LDL particles remain in circulation as cholesterol-rich carriers. Diets high in saturated fatty acids can push LDL upward in many people. Coconut oil enters that same traffic system. It is not a magic detour around lipid biology just because it comes from a plant.
But isn't the big selling point that coconut oil is medium chain, so it burns differently? Are people mixing up coconut oil with purified MCT oil?
Yes, that is a key compression error. Coconut oil contains a lot of lauric acid, often described in the medium chain neighborhood, but does not behave identically to shorter MCTs used in supplements. Commercial MCT oils usually emphasize caprylic and capric acids, which are more rapidly handled. Coconut oil is still a whole fat with many saturated fatty acids. So if a study or ad talks about MCT oil, you cannot simply paste that result onto a spoonful of coconut oil.
So, what about the weight loss promise? If someone swaps butter or canola oil for coconut oil, should they expect the scale or waist measurement to move in a meaningful way?
The best answer is, do not budget hope there. A 2025 systematic review and dose-response meta-analysis included 15 adult clinical trials and 620 participants. It found statistically significant changes in weight and BMI, but the mean differences were around hundredths of a kilogram or BMI unit, not something a person would notice. Waist circumference did not significantly improve. Coconut oil is energy-dense fat, so adding it on top of the diet is more likely to add calories than reveal a hidden metabolic shortcut. This is where the label becomes more useful than the slogan. The Nutrition Facts panel lets you see saturated fat per serving, and coconut oil can use up that budget quickly. If someone has elevated LDL, coronary disease, diabetes risk, or a clinician has told them to reduce saturated fat, coconut oil should not be treated as a free health food. It is better viewed as an occasional flavor fat, not a daily therapeutic ingredient.
I saw newer studies measuring blood after meals, not just fasting cholesterol. Does coconut oil look better or worse in the hours after eating, especially for triglycerides or inflammation?
The short-term picture is interesting but not decisive. In one 2026 double-blind four-way crossover trial, 18 healthy adults ate meals with 40 grams of fat from butter, coconut, flaxseed, or corn oil. Many inflammatory proteins changed after eating, but there was no consistent pattern favoring one fat source, and triglycerides did not differ between sources. Another 2025 crossover trial in 29 higher-risk adults found canola and coconut meals produced different triglyceride, IL-6, glucose, insulin, and fatty acid responses, but again, the practical meaning was marker-specific.
What about fullness? People sometimes say coconut oil in coffee kills appetite. Is there evidence that the type of oil matters, or is it mostly just eating a lot of fat?
That trial is a good reality check. 29 adults with cardiometabolic risk ate 4 isoenergetic meals containing either 25 or 50 grams of canola or coconut oil. The researchers concluded that fat amount, more than fat type, influenced hunger and satiety. At the hormone level, canola suppressed ghrelin more than coconut, while higher fat meals raised peptide YY. So if coconut oil seems filling The boring explanation may be that fat slows the meal experience and adds energy, not that coconut has a unique appetite switch. One boundary that prevents confusion: topical use and eating are different exposures. Coconut oil in hair or on dry skin does not travel through lipoprotein metabolism the way dietary coconut oil does. A massage study with sodium chloride fortified coconut oil even found sympathetic arousal shortly after treatment in healthy volunteers, so wellness uses are not automatically calming or therapeutic. If someone has eczema, acne, allergies, wounds, or irritated skin, they should patch test and ask a clinician when the skin barrier is compromised.
So, is the fair use case basically taste and cooking style? If someone loves coconut flavor in a curry or baked dish, what would make that choice more reasonable?
The most personal test is not how energized you feel after one spoonful. It is what happens to your lipid panel after a stable pattern. If someone is using coconut oil daily, especially replacing unsaturated oils, it is reasonable to check LDL cholesterol with their clinician. People with known high LDL, prior cardiovascular disease, diabetes, familial hypercholesterolemia, pregnancy-related lipid concerns, or lipid-lowering medication questions should not self-experiment with high saturated fat intake without medical guidance. My compressed answer is coconut oil is an aromatic saturated fat with some interesting chemistry, not a cardiovascular upgrade. The HDL headline is real enough to be tempting, but incomplete because LDL often moves the wrong direction compared with unsaturated oils. The weight loss evidence is not clinically meaningful. Post-meal inflammation data are mixed and short-term, and MCT claims are often borrowed from different products. Use it when the coconut flavor matters, keep the amount modest, and let unsaturated oils do the everyday work.